let the sun shine in, face it with a grin, smilers never lose and frowners never win. I love coming into the kitchen. I'm always happy when I come in here because there's food in here and I love food. How about you? The challenge with food, of course, for most people, it's not a wow experience. It's not a fun experience. There's so many people in the world where food is controlling their life, and they either have an argument with themselves in their own head. I can't have that. I want to have it, but I mustn't have it. How many calories is in it? How many fat grams I need to weigh and measure it? How long will I have to exercise to burn it off? And food is controlling their life. What a horrible way to live. Now, the reason I know that is as a personal exercise coach, as a personal results coach, I worked with a lot of people, probably thousands of people, who shared with me that food was not only controlling their life, but they hated it. They wanted to eat it, but they didn't, or they ate too much of it. Or they ate loads and loads of food and then threw it up, or fanatically exercised it off, or took laxatives to try and poo it out. Food was not a fun part of their life. And my question is always, and I can't stop that from happening, and it's one of those things I've been trying my whole life, and I use the word try very carefully because I hate the word try. I think Yoda said it beautifully, don't try, just do. But to help people have a beautiful relationship with food, to love eating food, to eat for pleasure and performance is something that I have been learning about, analysing, researching, studying, trying to change my entire career as an exercise professional. And I'm at the point where I think it's a little bit like being an alcoholic. You don't ever get over it. The challenge, of course, you can stop drinking alcohol, but you can't stop eating food. And people that have a horrible relationship with food, how do you fix that? You have to keep eating food. And once you know how many calories is in something, or how many fat grams, or how many, we talk about carbs now, I've got to have a certain amount of protein, or I've got to weigh and measure everything, I've got to do so many steps to burn it off. That whole process of just where food and exercise is controlling your life rather than enjoying your life. And how do you stop that? Now, I don't have an answer to how to stop that. What I do know is that I don't want our little kids, or the kids being born today, or the kids that have got a beautiful relationship with food now, I don't want as adults for us to screw that up. What do you reckon? And how does that happen? And because I've asked so many people this question, and the answer is often exactly the same or very, very similar, is at some stage in their life they were told that a food was a bad food. You can't have that, it's bad for you, you mustn't have, shouldn't have, don't have. And once you label something as bad, is it possible that if you then eat that food, you would feel like a bad person? I don't think that's a very difficult connection to make. If you then are surrounded by people who are weighing and measuring and counting and getting angry and feeling guilty and talking about food all the time in good or bad terminology, don't eat that, it's bad for you, or if you're a good girl you can eat that, or that's a healthy food so you're allowed to have that, if our kids are hearing that all the time, mummy's always on a diet, mummy's always counting calories, mummy and daddy are always complaining about what the foods that they can't have but they want to have and they wish they could have, and then when they eat those foods they feel guilty, is it possible that we're screwing up our kids' heads? Now, I've got to be very careful because I don't have any kids, but I don't want our kids to live like that. I've worked with too many people who have been people who throw up every day, they weigh themselves countlessly throughout the day, they get their body fat tested on a regular basis, they're constantly counting calories, they're scared to go out because what if the food there has got too many calories in it, they're too scared to eat food because they have to exercise for too long, or they do exercise fanatically. The story is just an ugly, horrible story, and I don't want that for our kids. So there's this beautiful, for me, the perfect way to live, and I can't change the way you live, but I would love our kids to grow up like this. Eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full, eat the foods that help you perform at your very best, give you a stack of energy, help you look good in the mirror, and your body feels good to touch, and the food that you eat and the exercise that you do gives you the results that you want. That's how I've lived my entire life. I want people to live like that. I can't, you get to live however you want to. And there's plenty of people who they're very happy to tell me, I count calories and I weigh myself and I get my body fat tested and I go and do a body scan and my life is completely controlled by food and exercise. And they're almost proud to tell me that. But I always worry about our kids. So if you have kids, could you please consider the things that we share with our kids about food and exercise and how we share it. And the beautiful thing, and I bang on about this every single day, if you're really fit and if you're really strong, if you've got a body that's physically fit and physically strong and then mentally tough, of course, you then have a strong central nervous system and an endocrine system. That's your hormones. Your hormones will tell you when you're hungry, so you should eat. That's what the hunger mechanism is inside the body. Trying to stop that is ridiculous because that's what it's there for. It also tells you when you're full. If you're really fit and really strong, it doesn't matter what food's put in front of you. If you're full, your endocrine system, your hormones say, I don't need any more food, I'm full. That's why I love coming into the kitchen, because I eat when I'm hungry, I stop eating when I'm full, because my body tells me that's enough now. You can put my favourite food in front of me when I'm full and I don't want to eat it. I don't eat when I'm not hungry. I eat all the foods that I love, because why would you live any other way? I love chocolate and biscuits and ice cream and chips and pizza and hot chips, and I love all the things that people say are bad foods, but I don't need to eat large amounts of them because my body tells me when I'm full. I also have a body that tells me what I need, and I'm sure you've heard this. I feel like an apple, or I feel like a steak, or I feel like a piece of bread, or I feel like some salad. If you listen to your body, it will tell you what you need. It'll tell you how much to eat, when to stop eating, what kind of food you should eat. But here's the more exciting thing for me. When you're really fit and really strong, you have a body that burns up everything you put into it really fast. It's called having a fast metabolism. So your body tells you what to eat. It tells you when to stop eating. It tells you the foods that are going to give you energy, and love the foods that you eat. And I always ask that question, why would you waste calories? Why would you waste headspace on foods that you don't like? If somebody's telling you to eat stuff that you don't like, why the hell would you do that? Wouldn't it be nice to live like that? Have a body that burns up everything you put into it really fast, so you can't be out of shape, you can't be fat, you can't be have no energy, you can't be sick, because you're eating the foods that keep you healthy, keep you fit, keep you strong, because you need energy to exercise, of course. But if you're really fit and really strong, your body will do the rest for you. Your endocrine system, your hormones are designed to keep you alive so that you feel fantastic, so that you can reproduce. And if you don't want to reproduce, that's okay. But wouldn't it be nice to just feel good all the time if you've got a fit, strong, healthy body? And then you can come into the kitchen like I do and sing happy songs like I do, which is, let the sun shine in, face it with a grin. I've even got a yellow jacket on, because I love coming into the kitchen, I love eating food, and I love living my life to the max. How about you? Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max, hope you do too. Woohoo!